Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1539. Good morning, Tara Darnell Roberts, Tom Krebs' wife, Tom Krebs, Barbara Clark, John Clark, Suzanne Chamut, Colleen Dracos, Gina Purtoff. Okay, good morning. Good morning, everybody. And how could we forget Odette Minders? How could we forget Duck Long? Maybe. I don't know. And um, myself, and I. I'm saying at least three hellos. Yes, 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 yes. And today, as usual, Morsels of a Thought, number 1539, means that I've been doing this for that many days consecutively. Started on by a doctor named Duc Vuong, Vuong, and uh, I've just kept going every single day, nonstop. And I'm 307 steps behind him. Anyway, so my point is to get you guys to have a great day with morsels of a thought of good wisdom. Wisdom is some knowing the right thing to do is some wisdom. Doing the right things is virtue. So we borrow wisdom from people like Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider, from the mavens of dating, the rules, time-tested secrets for capturing the heart of Mr. Right, the classic book, and the rules for marriage and not your mother's rules. And we all need to buy a dating journal, which will help you with let's see if it stays there. It will help you with keeping track of little red flags. Maybe you never see them until you write them down. So um, there's that. Okay, so we'll read the Rules Handbook, a guide to creating loving and lasting relationships. Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider are really cool people. They're both New Yorkers. And when they wrote this, they might be about 10 years older than me. And when I saw what they wrote, I said, "Oh, I forgot to catch up to watch the movie they recommended." And I had to, oh, that's right. You know, that's how people dated. So I started to date the rules way. And it was so much more effective, just was more effective than anything else. It's like you would think that you wanted to face the man, right? But the funny thing is, he starts to chase you if you turn around and walk away. That's how you know they like you. Okay, we're in week 12 of Create Respectful Marriages and Partnerships, starting over with the rules. And this is if you've been cheated on, betrayed, and divorced and had a relationship go bad, and you have to start over with the rules. Your Rules Weekly Pep Talk. No one wants to break up or get a divorce and then start over. Everyone intrinsically likes stability and prefers the status quo. But if you're single, separated, or divorced, you don't have a choice. You either go out and join dating apps or you live your life alone. For some women, that is fine, but most of our readers prefer to be in a committed relationship. So, what do you do now that you're single? We recommend you begin your dating journey by reading and using the rules all over again. All over again. If you were successful at finding a marriage partner the first time, you will do it again and will be even wiser the second time around. Where's the other book? It's not here. Okay. Um, it's somewhere else. Okay. This week, focus on getting out of your comfort zone, showing up for dates, practicing the rules, and finding support with a rules dating coach, rules Facebook group, therapist, or rules minded girlfriends. Now, in their first book, they originally said you couldn't talk to a therapist about the rules because therapists classically would get you to talk about everything and talk to everybody and assign words to everything. But in the rules, we don't do that. We, in the metaphor of just turning your back and walking away, he chases you instead. In that metaphorical life, you don't say everything about yourself right away. You stay a mystery for, as a little reasonable amount of time. And then Rules Facebook group, Shannon Paulus runs a really good group called the Rules Support Group and Advice for Dating and Real Life on Facebook. It's really that name, the Rules Support Group and Advice for Dating and Real Life. She is a certified life coach who does the rules, and she does them really, 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 really well, I'll say. And then we've got the support with a rules dating coach. A rules dating coach is Edna McIntosh. She has been doing a call for 20 some years. Um, I've sometimes left the phone number in the comments, and if I remember to, I shall as well. But you can look her up on the web, Edna McIntosh. She's also a certified coach and does the rules. So, starting over with the rules, daily rules. Day 344, dating after divorce. Divorced women who have been through the ringer are often reluctant to date again. They are nervous about being good enough or young enough or pretty enough. They fear they will never meet anyone who wants them because of their age and baggage. They worry about finding a babysitter even though they don't even have a date. We tell them these are all limiting lower self thoughts. Higher self is all about moving on and having hope. We tell them to post their profile and photos on dating apps and find singles events in their area. The best way to get over an ex is to meet someone better. It's amazing how that happens. When you meet someone better, suddenly, if you're at a social dance, suddenly you're dancing with somebody who is looking like, you just get this feeling when you're dancing, oh my gosh, I've completely forgotten about my ex, for that moment. And then the dance and the song is over. And then you have to go back and do the rules and, go away from him and but see if he tries to follow you or ask for your phone number. And when they give you a business card, the rules way is to say, oh no, I don't think so, thanks. I lose those things. And let them take your phone number because that way he is the pursuer. Okay. Day 345, don't be naive. If you've been married and out of the dating scene for years or decades, you might believe that it's different now, that a woman can make the first move. Of course, a woman can do anything she wants, but will it work? We don't think so. Anyone who tells you that you can pursue a man successfully is telling you what you want to hear. Don't be gullible. It's like telling you that you can eat all you want without gaining weight. It's a scam. It's if it sounds too good to be true, it is. So don't believe in any dating app or philosophy that tells you to message men first. It's a fantasy. You're going to waste time or get hurt. Yeah. Yeah. You guys already know that part. The part where I dated a guy for 9 years. I just got 9 years older and I didn't learn anything. It was really a wrong relationship, but that's how things go. And that was before the rules. So, anyway, day 346, date ASAP. Some suggest wellness retreats in India. And good morning, Sally Meadows. In the evening, I suppose you're watching, if you're watching this live. Some suggest wellness retreats in India and detoxing from men after a divorce. We suggest just the opposite. Jump into the dating pool ASAP, or you will forget how to date and it will become harder later on. If you wait, you will become like all your other divorced friends who have not met anyone in 10 years because they're so busy with divorce support groups and fighting with their ex. Nothing can replace dressing up and dating. Of course, give yourself 5 minutes a day to break down, look at your wedding album, and cry, but then get glammed up and go out to singles events and post your profile. In my case, I have to use a lot of bronzer to look awake. That's just a makeup secret there. Day 347, a clean break. Oh, by the way, I used to get glammed up, and when I was living in my parents' house, I would have a whole mound of the clothes that I had tried on and decided against wearing to the dance. And of course, because I've tried them on, I need to wash them later. So they're in a mound on the bed. And the one on the very top is the second to last one. And it's the closest one to what I actually wear. What I actually wear every single time is a form fitting black dress. Every single time. I will look at it in the closet and say, oh, I want to wear something else today. And then I'll try every single dress. And my mother must have been really amused when she would pass by my room and see the mound. Oh, you're going to a dance. Wow. Yeah. Day 347, clean break. Um, the glamming up part is so much fun. It really is. Once you get into it, you get into it, you go state. You go into it, you go into this rubber can bounce off your head state. You can be doing all your makeup and nothing is in your mind except to get that line straight. Um, it's helpful and it's healthy. So definitely take their advice. Give yourself 5 minutes a day to break down, look at your wedding album and cry, but then get glammed up and go out to singles events and post your profile. Get glammed up and post your profile, even if you don't go out. That's what I have done. I've actually had friends come by and say, ooh, where are you going? And I'd be like, oh, I did it for myself. It used to be that when a couple broke up, it was over and done with, no contact. Now we have messy on and off again breakups because women refuse to let go and move on. Typically, a guy will break up with a woman, but say he would be open to being friends. Friends with benefits. A rules girl would find this completely unacceptable, a demotion and an insult. She doesn't want a friend. She wants a boyfriend and future husband. A non rules girl will continue to see him. She bought show tickets for his birthday before they broke up. Or it's New Year's Eve and they spent the last 5 years celebrating it, and she can't imagine watching the ball drop with anyone else, and sometimes also sleep with him. This is a complete waste of time, as it will give you false hope and possibly keep you from dating others. There's no dignity in seeing an ex for any reason or being friends with or without benefits unless you have children. For the sake of the kids, you should be friendly, but you should not be friends. So, the kids, I grew up in a single family household. I did not grow up in a split family household. So I can't say much to that. Um, the kids have to learn to adapt and move all the time and pack up their things and leave things at the wrong house and I can't imagine doing that. It must be really hard. So, if the parents are cordial to each other and civil to each other, no matter what, they have functional speech with each other, but they don't have to have intimacy. They don't have to have intimate speech. They don't have to say, hi, how are you doing? They can just say, hello, how are you? Sort of a robotic hello, but everything else has to do with the child. I'm gonna pick her up at 4. Okay, does she have her ice skating after that? Yes, and then no, and then blah blah, and then go. Go on. Day 40, day 348. Rebound girl. While you should never date a married man, you can date a man who is separated as long as he is not living with his wife. And the authors have said to me over the phone in a call many years ago that it's best if he's living far away from his wife. You don't have to wait until he is 100% divorced, but don't be his rebound girl. A rebound girl is the girl he wastes time with to get over his ex. If his ex left him and he's still hung up on her, run. If he left her and only talks to her about their children, you have nothing to worry about. But if he says he never wants to get married again and treats you like his therapist to vent about fights with his ex and custody battles, you need to know nothing more. Move on. Day 349, recently separated. If a recently separated guy is talking about his ex, he probably doesn't like you. I went out with a guy who all through the drive to and from, I knew him already, so this date was where he picked me up at my house, and I had known him for several years, so I had him pick me up at my house, and we went out to dinner. He picked up his brother, and then he kept on talking about his ex-wife and how they had custody battles over their daughter, and how he kept on talking about the escapades of his daughter. She was always getting into some kind of legal tangle, like with a parking ticket or I don't know, driving drunk ticket that cost them $10,000, and or 8,000 plus 2,000 plus this and that and this and that, and it was over. Sounded like it was well over 10,000 or $12,000. Um, so he talked about his ex-wife, and then I go home, and the thing he says to me last is, "If you don't want to go out with me, I would like to be friends." And I nodded, and we said goodbye. I went home, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure." And I had the rules already. Yes. I don't remember what it said in the book, in the original book, about that part. So I did move on, and that was the rules step to take. Recently separated. If a recently separated guy is constantly talking about his ex, he probably doesn't like you. When a guy likes you, he only wants to talk about you. He seems to like he seems like he's in a trance. He can't stop looking at you. He can barely look at the menu, and he can't believe he met you. He wants to know everything about you, your childhood, your career, your hobbies, and your favorite books, TV shows, movies, and music. He'll ask about your family and friends. He'll talk about concerts and shows he wants to take you to. He'll talk about concerts and shows he wants to take you to. If he's talking about his ex, he's either still in love with her or using you as a therapist. I think that's what that guy was doing, probably. Not intentionally, but still, that's what it was. See, a lot of the times in life, when people are doing something that insults you, it's not necessarily intentionally to insult you. It could be they have some ulterior motive in mind. So to react or respond, your reaction might be to be angry at the person, but to respond would be to do a thought out behavior. Think out a behavior before you respond, and that way you can say to yourself, oh, well, that was unintentional. Like one time, at a lawn sale, somebody offered somebody like $15 for a bookshelf, and the person kind of like, was from a country. It was from Japan. She was from a culture where she looked like she was going to consider it, and she said, no, maybe higher, and they really wanted 50 or 30. So uh it's not necessarily intentional. That's what I'm trying to say. Day 350, reminder. When we say don't talk or text, don't talk or text a man first, some women argue. There's nothing wrong with starting a conversation. You can always text him to see if he's available to connect. If he asks you out, great. If not, you have nothing to lose. Wrong. You do have something to lose. Time. When you initiate a relationship, it usually doesn't work out long term. He will eventually feel that something isn't right or something is missing for him. A year or more later, he will end it and maybe not even know why, but we will. It's because you made the first move. Rules, girls, don't waste time. Now, that's something that's in the first book. Rules, girls, don't waste time. And rules, girls, play it safe. That's also in the book. Day 351. Before you jump into dating. Dating after a breakup or divorce can be scary, but you don't have to do it alone. You can join Rules Facebook support groups. You can attend 12-step support groups such as Alcoholics Anonymous if you are drinking because of your dating, Overeaters Anonymous if you are overeating because of your emotions, Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous if you are addicted to love and need better boundaries, Misery Addicts Anonymous if you are self-sabotaging your relationships, and Recovery Inc. for mental health issues such as anxiety, anger, and fear. Get support in between dates so you're never alone. Apply the rules to achieve your higher self. If you're dating after a breakup or divorce, you may think that everything is different now with dating apps and social media. It's not. Technology has changed the way people meet, but the guy still has to make the first move in whatever medium, and you still have to play hard to get. If a guy talks about his ex, number two, if a guy talks about his ex a lot, buyer beware. He's not over her or not that into you. Don't waste time. Move on. Number three, actually, what that guy said to me. In the end, in the long run, he wasn't all that interested in me, you know. Number three, I remember the car he drove. It was like 10 feet off the ground. Anyway, three, doing nothing is not an option. If you're single, separated, or divorced, you need to go out and join dating apps and try something, anything, one thing, break the ice. Yes, I have joined several dating groups. I have dating apps on my phone. No, I do it by the site. I don't like to do apps. I did just get a new phone, so I should be able to add more apps on. So I should be able to do that. But I'm using the sites. So yesterday I was getting my phone fixed, and this guy was from a place where he was celebrating Ramadan. And he started to talk and said he'd like to have an English tutor. And I said, oh, that's no problem. I tutor people in English all the time. And then he looked at my rings and said, are you engaged? I said, no, this is on my right hand. This hand is the one that we use for marriage and engagement, left hand, in America anyway, that we know of. So I thought to myself, gee whiz, that was a married man. I asked him if he was married, and he said yes. And his ay, ay, ay. So, when a man shows that kind of interest, I just try to ward them off. So, anyway, I will see you later. You guys have a great, great day. And remember, morsels of a thought of wisdom is to try to make your life better and make more virtue in the world by making it possible for you to know something to do that you can make the world better with one step a day. Okay? Old Kinderhook. Bye.